Well, the next crop of national executives of the governing NPP will have a daunting task of fulfilling a political dream of breaking the two-term jinx. That's according to political watchers and analysts. But what do the party folk themselves think about this? Some of them have been speaking to William Evans in the Ashanti region.
In a region which has been giving the ruling party an overwhelming endorsement in every election since 1992, the interest in who becomes an executive should be a major focal point. However, the narrative is different. With barely 24 hours to the National Delegate Conference of the NPP, many believe the party has lost the steam to retain power after 2024.
I don't think so. I'm an MPP member, but I don't think they can break the 8 because most Ghanaians have lost interest in them. And as a matter of fact, they've promised to do lots of things, which we are expecting them to do. But from the look of things, things are not really going on well.
No, they can't. It's impossible because the NPP have great policies. They have sugar-coated policies. It helps the society if they are able to accomplish. But the policies have been made in which we listen to those and vote for them. But when they come in power, that's not what they are doing. Unless they bring somebody who is very competent, aside from me and other people, I suggest Kenya, Japan.
In the 2020 election, out of the over 66,000 valid votes cast in the Bantama constituency, the ruling NPP secured an overwhelming 86%. Bantama constituency has over the years recorded the highest number of votes for the party. Since 2000, NPP have won almost every single polling station in the Bantama constituency. The famous landmark victory came in the year 2000. That gave this constituency the name Florida, a name that is synonymous to the U.S. states, which also gave the then candidate George W. Bush a famous victory in the 2000 elections.
Delegates no, and I'm happy pa. I'm on the money. Penny say obey your money ye my no. I'm ko jiska. No ma ko yini pa. I'm to be muaye. No ma ko fanaba. No ma ba haya adwene.
I will blame the delegates. They usually take money and vote for the wrong people.
Aunt my phone up and say, "No, I'm a MP papa day." And my so delegates got crabbing no more. I'm come ko jiska. Ready 50. No, I just say one no so do. Delegate no. At the party no. Now we animase.
They are very say, Sabato no Mukotua, Omuchus come over Mansano Makotono, and the Menin Hokra, Chesarino Movia, said they are two about Onyabano, on Cotini Kenya, what me track a minor.
It is about time delegates stop taking money and vote for the right people to lead the party.
But now there seems to be apathy among some party faithful here. They feel money has now taken the center stage.
Let's cross over now to the Accra Sports Stadium, where my colleague William Evans is leading a team of reporters, producers and technicians to bring you coverage of the National Delegates Conference of the NPP. Evans, you've been following keenly the conversations in the lead up to this day in the Ashanti region, for example. What's been the talk, particularly among leadership of the party? I'm curious.
Well, so this time around, they want to see a heavy representation of the party's stronghold at the national executive level, and that is what they're praying for. Don't forget that if you are kind of juxtaposing their position to the crop of executives that form the outgoing National Executive Council of the NPP, then you will agree with me that the Ashanti region only had 1.5 individuals in that particular crop of executives. I'm talking about the second vice chairperson position, which went to Anto, who was then the Ashanti regional chairman of the party, and of course, Nanabi, who was also holding the position as the national youth organizer of the party. Nanabi, even though hails from the Ashanti region, but many see him to be, somebody who is mostly based in the Greater Accra region. So they are looking for a very, very heavy representation be the next prop of the national executive as far as the NPP is concerned. Now, you ask me, why do they want to see that happen? Because the thinking is that when they are able to achieve that, then there's going to be some level of, change the narrative when it comes to development. I'm talking about monumental development in the Ashanti region. Because they think that when it gets to the top, there is nobody there to actually speak for the region. That is why the region is lagging behind when it comes to monumental projects. Because the point is, if the Jubilee House fails to execute that, if Pediassi Lodge fails to execute that, Adabraka office will be able to do that. And who is going to speak on behalf of the Ashanti region? That will be that particular representative who will be there. So they are looking forward to seeing all the hopefuls who are coming from the Ashanti region win the election. But the point is, the Ashanti region is only presenting a little over 799 delegates as far as this particular tomorrow's exercise is concerned. Will that be enough for them to clinch every possible position as far as their contest in the various positions are concerned? Well, unless they are able to also convince the other 16 regions to be able to support them with numbers. So they are hoping that at least this thing that they are actually aiming at will come to pass.
I'm also understanding that some of the posters, those who have been watching this space, have been raising some concerns, the sticking points to look out for heading into this exercise. What more do we know, especially when it comes to those who have the backing of a party council and those who also have the support of the people, that's the grassroots?
Let me take you to 2018. 2018, there were a lot of influences as far as the Koforidia conference was concerned. That was the time the NPP, under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, had served only 2 years into his first administration. So there were some level of influences. Well, there are some level of allegation that people were swayed to follow a certain trend because of where that particular communication was coming from, if you like, order from above. Those were just allegations. We don't have the concrete fact to support that. But the most important thing is that NPP